So this is the opening speech. Republic of South Sudan versus Puot, Kang, and others. Criminal case number 1533 of 2025. Honorable Presiding Justice and distinguished members of the bench, with due respect and on behalf of the Republic of South Sudan, allow us to present this prosecution opening speech. On the 3rd through the 7th of March 2025, in Nasir County, Upper Nile State, the people of South Sudan and the world witness the gravest crimes that strike at the very heart of our constitutional order, endangered our national security, and traumatized and inflicted immeasurable suffering on the people of South Sudan. The government military garrison in which Yardio, Nasir was attacked and overrun by the White Army militia. The government forces that surrendered on their own and those that surrendered on the persuasion of the FIFA accused person, Dr. Riek Machar, including the late David Majur, who was to be evacuated by a UN helicopter. Those injured and those captured alive were rounded up and executed at point blank. The dead were dragged around and others dumped into the river and others left to rot where they were executed. My Lord Justices, on April 20th, the South Sudan People's Defense Forces, SSPDF, regained the control of Nasir Town and Wich Yardio military garrison. At Wich Yardio garrison, they were welcomed by the dry bones of their slain comrades. An apocalyptic scene comparable to the biblical phrase of Valley of Bones. But here, my lords, it was a barbed wire garrison, a plain land of bones overlooking the silent and grieving river. The prosecution stands before you today on behalf of the people of the Republic of South Sudan to seek justice for these heinous crimes committed by the accused persons. My lords, justices, this case is about individual criminal acts or omissions or responsibilities of the accused persons. I emphasize individual criminal acts or responsibility of the accused persons. The accused persons are namely Puot Kang Chol, Lieutenant General Gabriel Droblam, Mampal Duor, Garawich Lampoj, Dr. Riek Machar Teny, Brigadier General Camilo Gat-Michael, First Lieutenant Mading Riek Yak, and Lance Corporal Dominic Gadgok Riek, who are present before you here, and others who are at large, namely Lieutenant General Peter Tokchuo Luak, Major General Dilin Care Cholkuch, Major General Peter Ruach Wibiem, Lieutenant General Ye Dak Wiu, Major General William Dengbom, Kang Makana, Major General Kong Miang, Kwang Terjes, Garawich Liam, Biel Wiu, James Galwak Liu, Brigadier General Hokdor Chuol, and Pal Mai Deng. My Lord Justices, investigations were conducted of over 100 people and the rest were released. And only these were the ones the prosecution has presented before this court to have been found culpable in the criminal acts that they are being charged with. In due course, Mr. Presiding Justice and distinguished members of the bench, the prosecution shall seek the indulgence of this honorable court to permit the prosecution of those absent and at large in absentia. The Honorable Presiding Justice and distinguished members of the bench, the incident in Nasir in March 2025, characterized by brutal mass murder in cold blood, inhumane treatment, and total disrespect of the dead, and total disregard of the laws of South Sudan remains unforgettable and regrettable stain in the conscience of this republic. My Lord Justices, the prosecution will demonstrate that these were not spontaneous attacks, but actions of well-organized, well-financed, brutal criminal scheme. A criminal scheme carried out by the accused persons as they incited, organized, abated, financed, and weaponized a militant group, the so-called White Army, to target SSPD personnel, civilians, and undermine the government. My Lord Justices, the prosecution will avail evidence that the White Army did not act independently. They were under the direct command of the fourth accused person, General Gabriel Doblam, Major General Dealing Care, who is at large, and the fifth accused person, Dr. Yang Macha, and financed by the first accused person, Mr. Puot Kang and Mampal Duor, the third accused person. The attacks by the White Army were planned, funded, coordinated, and commanded by some of the commanders of SPLA-IO. We emphasize some of the commanders of SPLA-IO. The commanders in Juba coordinating the assault were Lieutenant General Gabriel Doblam and Major General Dealing Care. And on the ground in Nasir, the SPLA-IO officers commanding the White Army were namely the late Torgel Thon, Kang Makana, who is at large, Lieutenant General Peter Tokchuol, Brigadier General Manpinj Pal, Brigadier General Peter Palmut Yaj, Bol Doyak, and Major General Kong Muyang. This means the attacks were executed under the direct orders of the fifth accused person, who is the commander-in-chief of the SPLA forces. The evidence the prosecution will present will establish this clear and undeniable claim and the chain of command. It will demonstrate that the militant White Army operated under the direct command and influence and a strategic direction of the accused persons before you and those at large. My Lord Justices, there is a false narrative that this trial is a political witch hunt against the fifth accused person, Dr. Yang Macha, and the other accused persons. Contrary to this claim, my lords, this trial is about the rule of law. It is about giving justice to the victims. It is about having a closer to the victims, fighting impunity, and setting a new departure that crimes must be punished, that there must be a new chapter of accountability for all, regardless of status. Albeit this, it is inversely an opportunity for the accused persons as well to clear their names. In this commitment to the rule of law, my lords, the accused persons before you are presumed innocent as per our Constitution until found guilty by this competent court. It is to this commitment that this trial is open to the public. Further, my lords, it is to this commitment that the accused is duly represented by a competent defense team. And the Republic of South Sudan is willing and in position, given the nature of the offenses herein, to assign lawyers in addition, if need be, to defend the accused persons. The Honorable Justice and the distinguished members of the bench, the accused persons, Puot Kang and others, stand charged with treason, concealing treason, subverting the Constitution, insurgency, banditry, terrorism, terrorist financing, mass murder, destruction of protected property, treasury, attacks on United Nations personnel, unlawful seizure of a military garrison, and participation in an organized